Good morning everybody, this is Lara with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. They're all moving a bit lower today and they're all reacting downward from resistance, and I keep saying don't expect price to move in a straight line. That's not what happens. When it starts to trend, there will be consolidations and pullbacks or bounces along the way. Bitcoin still remains within this downward sloping channel, which contains a bearish movement from the high of 13th of July. I still expect the low of the 11th of September is likely to remain intact, and today's downward movement is reaction from resistance at 27,400. And these three candlesticks together are now forming an evening star. Or not quite a doji, there's a little bit of a body on this candlestick. So I'd expect downward movement to continue a little bit further possibly, but I expect that this is most likely a pullback within an ongoing upward trend because of the strength of the bullish engulfing candlestick pattern and technical evidence that the low of the 11th of September is likely to remain intact. And I covered that in yesterday's video. I don't want to repeat myself again today. So if you want to look for my evidence that this low for Bitcoin and Ethereum of 11th of September, then have a look at yesterday's video. What I want to see for confidence that this low is going to remain intact is a new high above 28,145.56 and a breach of this channel. My definition of a breach is very conservative. I want to see a full daily green candlestick above and not touching this trend line. Today, so far, price is falling of its own weight. Volume is declining as price falls. That's good to see for a bullish case. I'm extending my resistance line to on-balance volume, so this now has 3 tests. ADX tells us for Bitcoin there's a new upward trend in a very early stage. RSI is not overbought, nor is money flow, and so there's quite a long way to go before this trend reaches extreme territory. It's in a very early stage. This is a very bullish look from ADX, RSI and money flow. And so even so, ADX tells us there's a new upward trend and there's a long way to go. As I keep saying, don't expect price to move in a straight line. Look for pullbacks or consolidations at identified resistance. And the first one happening here, 27,400. If we can break through here and break through the channel, then I'll look for another consolidation or pullback just below 29,000 and then again about 31,000 and so on. Get some free giveaways today to help you with your technical analysis. Click on the link below to go to my website and you can download one or more of these 3 giveaways. I have an ebook on technical analysis basics for you. These are the contents of the ebook, several chapters on some basics, some indicators, some techniques, looking at gaps, looking at scale for your charts, and I've even got 2 steps to a high probability trade setup there for you. Another free giveaway is this easy candlestick pattern guide to the major candlestick reversal patterns, bullish and bearish, diagrams, descriptions of how they should be read and in what context. And a third giveaway, I have this Elliott Wave structure guide, 3 pages giving you all of the Elliott Wave structures with all of the rules you need to know and diagrams of the ideal form for each. Motive structures on 1 page and all of the corrective structures on 2 pages. So click on the link below and get any one or all of these 3 giveaways for free. The wave count for Ethereum on the weekly chart, I want to draw your attention today to this lower edge of this base channel. I've drawn around intermediate waves 1 and 2, from the start of 1 to the end of 2 with a copy on 1. The lower edge of the base channel should be where lower degree corrections find support for a bull market. This trend line is important. Here it is on the daily chart for Ethereum. Price is coming down closer to this trend line. I will expect, if price gets a little bit lower, to find support at this trend line as most likely. Not definitely, but highly likely. Downward movement today is making this little expanded flat for a little second wave correction look more normal. Subminuet B is close to a 138% length of A. That's an edge of the common range of B waves within flats, and subminuet C is now a bit longer than 1.618 the length of A. So there's no ratio between them, but it's starting to look more like a normal looking expanded flat. An expanded flat has B that moves beyond the start of A and C that moves substantially beyond the end of A. It does that now, and if it moves any lower, look for support at this line. Keep your eye on this line. It's very important for Ethereum today. On the technical chart, I'm looking for next support here about 1550 if price gets a little bit lower, and that'll probably be in line with that trend line on the Elliott Wave count. Price is reacting down from resistance at the upper edge of this channel, and today price is falling of its own weight, although yesterday showed a little increase in volume pushing price lower, and we may have that follow through today. For Ethereum, I'm drawing a new resistance line from on-balance volume, can't draw a new support line yet though. Ethereum has an ADX that's declining, so it's telling us there's no clear trend. When there's no clear trend, I revert to a model of stochastics plus support and resistance. Stochastics fell just short of overbought, so now stochastics is moving lower from just below overbought. Price is moving lower from just below resistance. I'll expect, using that model, a downward swing to continue until price finds support either 1550 or 1360 and stochastics reaches oversold. This model doesn't always work, but when there's no clear trend, generally price will swing from support to resistance and back again, and stochastics will reach overbought, oversold around about the same time. But when price is in a consolidation like that, it doesn't move. Not only does it not move in a straight line, but it's extremely choppy and overlapping, and it doesn't always perfectly reach resistance. Stochastics doesn't always perfectly reach overbought. Price doesn't always perfectly reach support. Stochastics doesn't always perfectly reach oversold. It's a general model, a guideline to follow when price is in a big consolidation. The Elliott Wave count for XRP considers an intermediate degree correction could be over here following a leading expanding diagonal for intermediate wave 1, and so now in the very early stages of intermediate wave 3. On the daily chart, the main wave count for XRP has intermediate 2 over here as a double zigzag. From this high to this low, seeing this movement as a complete double zigzag has a really good fit. It fits also very neatly within a nice best fit channel, and that channel is very clearly broken by upward movement. This channel breach tells us that this downward movement is likely to be over and the next move is likely to be underway. The alternate Elliott Wave count for XRP, despite downward movement today, still does not look right. Instead of seeing intermediate 2 over here, what if it's continuing lower? Both wave counts are identical to this point, and instead of A, B, C, what if it's A, B, C? The problem is C has to be a 5-wave motive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the problem now is minuet wave 2. The proportion of it is much greater than the corrections within minute wave C, and it's much longer than minute wave B, so it doesn't look right because the proportions are so poor and the channel is breached. This just looks all kinds of wrong. It'll be invalidated with a new high above 0.5467. On the daily chart, XRP is reacting down from around about the 200-day moving average. This candlestick today for this session may be completing a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. Look out for support at 46 cents. Below that, very strong support at 40 cents, although at this stage I suspect it's now unlikely XRP will get down that low. Volume for the last 3 upward sessions strongly pushed price higher. This is a very bullish look from XRP, and today so far with volume declining as price falls, the volume profile is still quite bullish. No new range or signal from on-balance volume. For XRP, ADX also is declining, telling us there's no clear trend. So if we revert to a model of stochastics plus support and resistance, stochastics is now fully overbought. Price is reacting down a little bit below resistance of 55 cents and reacting down from resistance at the 200-day moving average. So that model would expect downward movement to continue until price finds support and stochastics reaches oversold. If on the way down ADX turns up and tells us there's a new trend, then we ditch the model of stochastics plus support and resistance and revert to a trending model using RSI, ADX and money flow. That's my approach for these markets. So for the very short term, it looks like we may have a pullback at resistance for all of Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. I wouldn't expect it to be too deep and I wouldn't expect it to be too long lasting. Maybe one more session of downward movement. I'll be looking for support and then a resumption of a new upward trend for all of them most likely, because for all of them there is quite a lot of technical evidence that a low is in place for XRP 17th of August, for Ethereum and Bitcoin 11th of September. That's it for my quick update for you today. I hope everyone's having an awesome day.